I do believe that's Theresa Caputo.
Yes, it is.
Good morning. First, I'm very honored to have you here. You have no
Oh,
idea. I'm a
thank
huge
you.
fan. Huge
Thank
fan.
you.
You've done a show for what, 15 years now?
Long Island Medium has been on for 10 years, which is absolutely incredible. So I'm so very blessed and fortunate to be able to share my gifts still with millions of people every week. So such a blessing. It's
Yeah.
still, I still can't believe it. Like I never thought, like 10 years. I mean, crazy.
And that's the thing is, people that don't know you. Okay, first, people that know me know that I'm such a big believer of all of this because, and I've had proof. But you've written books. You've
Yes.
done show. What is first and foremost your favorite thing? Do you like writing? Do you like doing the show? I mean, what's your favorite?
My favorite thing is honestly just being able to share my gift, being able to channel someone's loved one to give them the peace, and that's the thing, it doesn't matter to me if someone believes in what I do. It's not about that at all. This honestly has nothing to do with me. It has to do with spirit using my physical body to validate for us that there truly is more to life than just here in the physical world.
I've talked about this on my podcast, Mindlessness.
Mm-hmm.
That shows you somebody who really does it for real,
Yeah.
as opposed to somebody who doesn't. Not that's a phony.
I think, listen, everything in life, we have good and bad, right? No matter what it is.
Sure.
And I don't know any different. To me, it is normal to be able to channel the souls of the departed. I thought it was normal. Like growing up at the age of 4, I'd say to my mom, I don't feel right. I feel different than everyone else. I don't belong here. And my mom literally would say to me, you're not adopted. You belong in this family. And I wouldn't be where I am today without my parents. I come from a very strong faith family, a very spiritual family. And to have their support over the years, I never make a big deal about the things that I would say. I mean, it wasn't until I was almost 30 that I realized, like, hey, I'm not only connecting with my own loved ones, but everyone else's.
So you're 4 years old and you start having these conversations, you start hearing voices. How did that work exactly?
Oh, I had night terrors. It was awful. I mean, babysitters never lasted with me because I'd be like, did you just see the woman walk by in front of the TV? And they'd be like, nope. And never saw that babysitter again.
That's scary.
Yeah. And as a child, like I didn't know it's, and I kind of compare it and I say to people, how you think everyone experiences what you do or how you feel? It just isn't so. For me, seeing people that have died is normal, but I didn't know that until I was almost 30, that I had this ability. And I also do believe that everyone has that ability to connect with their own loved ones. But I know everyone does the same thing that I do. I question it like, hey, am I remembering that? Am I just trying to make myself feel better? Is it just a coincidence? And to have it validated by me or another medium, that's the thing.
Right. And actually, one of my good friends who is the real thing as well, gives you like the highest marks, just so you know.
Oh, thank you.
And she said the exact same thing that you did. I asked her the question, how do you know when it's a charlatan, somebody who's fake? And she said when they're doing it because it's what they have to do it. They don't have any other choice. I mean, that's,
Listen, I didn't wake up one day and say to my parents, I think I want to talk to dead people and be famous one day. I mean, who says that?
Right, exactly.
I did not honestly think, you were asking me earlier about, Long Island Medium, how long it's been on.
Right.
And it's insane on how, every minute when I think spirit has like shown me and had me done like where I've seen it all or heard it all, spirit surprises me every single day. And especially in the live events, it's just crazy. It's just, they blow my mind every time, but that's the thing. Like I'm the first one to say that there's no way someone can communicate with someone that has died. And, these are common things that they might say. But what I have spirit do, and what you'll see if someone comes to the live event, spirit has me validated with something completely unique to that person that they have me speaking to. Wow. So it might be something that happened years ago. It might be something that has happened since their loved one died. And the number one thing spirit will have me say to someone is, please let my loved one know that I heard them say goodbye. And so spirit's now going to talk about things that you haven't shared with anyone else. Yeah. Nothing that's going to embarrass you, but just to validate, oh my God, like if they know that, then they did hear me say goodbye. And the thing that I love the most is when spirit communicates with their personality. Because nobody would know your loved one's personality. And a lot of times someone loses a loved one to an illness that takes away that personality, or maybe they die suddenly and tragically, and they're afraid that their loved one isn't at peace. So for them to use my physical body to show their personality, I love that. When spirit gives that gift of laughter is just the best.
And you are going to be, I believe it's 2 shows in St. Louis, which we're really, really lucky. Of course, all the information you will be seeing floating across the screen magically. And so you'll be, there'll be people maybe in the audience that you might, wow. Now, is it kind of the thing that spirit goes, oh, this person needs to hear something?
So this is the thing. So it'll be just like, I've been in St. Louis because I have so many amazing fans in St. Louis. And
yes,
this
you
is
do.
The thing that I love, or I always say the silver lining that came out of the pandemic, I was able to do until we get back into theaters, these ballroom settings where they're socially distanced. You're just sitting with the person that you came with. And it's the same show. I come out, I give a little speech, and then I get off of that little stage that they built for me in the ballroom, and I'm down in the crowd, and spirit will have me stop in front of someone, and I will just start channeling their departed loved one.
Wow.
Yeah.
My question is, so what was there like this epiphany kind of a moment where you were like, okay, now I'm seeing other people's and I'm getting spirit come through?
Yeah. So what happened was my anxiety was so bad and so debilitating that I had trouble leaving the home. And I had just had my daughter, Victoria. I was 28. She was about a year old. And my mom was like, you have to go see somebody. Like, you can't live like this. Because what happens is I'm empathic. So I will feel how so that's the first thing when I connect with a soul, they make me feel the bond and relationship, and then they bring me through their departure. So I could be out at the store and all of a sudden feeling like I can't breathe, or I'm having a heart attack. So that's where a lot of my anxiety came in, and I didn't realize that. So I had gone to a spiritual healer, and through her, I learned that I was connecting with everyone's loved ones. And then I struggled with my gift for about 5 years.
Wow. And
because I was like, okay, this is great. God has blessed me with this gift because I am a practicing Catholic, and I share that with people because people want to know. And, they'll say, do you believe in heaven? Do you think there's a hell? And I always say, listen, spirits never said to me, Theresa, it's freaking hot down here. So I go with that. There is no hell.
Right.
And
but you have faith. You have
I have faith. I learned how to incorporate my faith with my gift, and I put my gift in God's hands. And I said, "You open every door for me, and I will walk through it with my gift." And here I am. And I didn't realize it was 9/11 was when after 9/11 happened, and most people don't know this. That is when I decided that, okay, this is what I need to do for a living, because that was the period of when I was struggling with my gift.
Wow.
So yeah.
And and much needed at that time for sure.
Absolutely.
I would think. Yeah.
But I didn't realize it, because I was like, one of my biggest struggles was, okay, who wants to come and speak to their relatives that have died? I didn't understand that. And what I learned is that, unfortunately, no matter who we lose or how they die, young or old, we here in the physical world are left with these burdens and guilts, these negative emotions, these should've, could've, would've's, maybe an only if. And at the end of the day, these negative emotions do not give us the ability to heal. And that's why I tell people, you might have walked into this theater or into this ballroom with a list and said, okay, if this stuff is real, my mother's going to talk about this, 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 and this. And your mom or departed loved one might talk about those things, but there are going to be those things that you weren't expecting, because I need those to validate. And sometimes we don't realize what we need to hear or even experience and watch. To watch these messages is absolutely incredible.
To me, that's my favorite thing, is to see when you're with someone else and I'm watching this, I get chills. I
just got the chills.
Yeah, I get them all the time. And I have that empath. It's my mother is got the ability, her mother did. It's kind of in the female. And I close it off. It hurts I can't. Yeah. And I don't hear anything. It's the feeling.
But it's the feeling.
It's that feeling of it can be dread, which is just, I can't even imagine how you do that. Like get through that and kind of separate going, okay, how do you do it?
You know why? Because I was born this way. Like I always say, I don't mean to quote Lady Gaga or anything, but
hey, Lady Gaga's the best. You can quote her. Yes.
But I say that I was born this way. Like I don't know how to be I'm just being me. I'm not trying to be someone else or trying to persuade anyone. It is what it is. You take it, and I get that it's hard because especially when someone loses someone, depending on how they pass, people lose their faith. Then they're like, oh my God, I don't even know. I used to believe in an afterlife. I used to be spiritual, but now this happened. I've lost all that faith. And I always say to people, I make what I do look easy. It is the hardest thing that I have to do is to stand in front of someone and feel their pain, sorrow, loss, and grief. Right. And then in the next breath, Spirit had me do something to make that person laugh because they take us on that emotional roller coaster. And it's really, and I'm glad that you shared that with me about you being empathic because it's not easy.
No,
it's not easy at all.
Yeah, it's not. And you make it look easy.
Yeah.
And I applaud you on how you do that. And the fact that you do share that gift because I mean, the one thing that I truly believe in, and again, Julia Marie is the one who taught me this, the love never dies.
Nope.
And that's when people hear that message and realize they're there.
Yeah. It's that when someone, and I don't mean to be cold when I say this, but I really believe and learned this from Spirit that when someone dies, the only thing we lose is that physical connection. That soul bond can never and will never be broken. That's why it's so important to notice the signs and symbols. And I say to people, you also can't say, okay, Dad, if it's you, I'm going to see 4 red cardinals and 10 rainbows by Saturday. Right. It doesn't work like that. I want to dream of you. And I tell people, I don't dream of my loved ones that have died.
Right.
So people think that I do. I think the worst thing to do is to assume anything. Don't assume anything. Anything that goes on around you that is odd or weird or a coincidence, or you might just think of your departed loved one. Know that is them. I refer to them as little hellos from heaven. That is a bond that can never be broken.
I love that.
Yeah.
I have had in the smells, phantom smells.
Yes.
That's the weirdest thing. And then I go, wait, why am I smelling this? But it's paying attention. So, and I think, your books talk about that too. So if somebody were saying, because I have a lot of friends who are like, well, I'm interested. What would be the first thing you'd say? Read this book. Which one would you say?
Oh, I would first say, honestly, I would first say there's more to life than this. Because I think that's the introduction there's more to life than here in the physical world. Good Grief. The third book that I wrote was Good Grief. And it talks about the grieving and that you might not go through all those feelings and emotions. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be in certain steps. You grieve how you feel that you need to. I always say to people, as long as you're not self-medicating, harming yourself or anyone else, then you grieve the loss of your loved one the way that you feel that you need to. And that book, it gives us permission to do that. The last book that I wrote, which is not a coincidence at all. It was over 2 years ago. I felt the need to write another book. And it was about that a loss is a loss. That no matter what it is, we mourn every day. And we don't realize that. That's why when we lose a loved one or something big happens in our life, it's like a volcano because we don't mourn the everyday things. And the book is called Good Mourning, Mourning. And it came out last year during the pandemic.
Wow.
And there were so many things in the book. And I know Spirit, they were the ones that pushed me to write that book. I mean, I wrote about losing finances, a job, self-esteem, retirement,
right?
A loss of an argument, a loss of a friend. And you know how many emails and messages that I got and people posting and saying, I didn't realize that I needed to mourn that. I feel so much lighter and so much better.
Yeah, you do. There is something about him. My son's moving to Boston to go to university.
Yes, the empty nest.
It's killing me. It's killing me. Every day I look at him, I go, how many more days and hours do I have left?
Yes. But let me tell you, they always come back. I thought I was having an empty nest. I have a full nest now. My nest is busting out. It's fuller than ever, but they're starting to move out a little bit, but they always come back. They always know there's nothing like home with mom.
I love that. It is. It's a mourning period.
Yeah, and
now at will people be able to get your books there too, by the way? Or do you know?
Unfortunately not. We're not able to do merchandising yet, but they can get it. All my books are available on Amazon.
Okay,
or
good.
Barnes and Noble.
I figured
It
I'd
is.
ask,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and someone actually still, and if you do see a signed copy out there, I personally signed every one of those books.
Wow.
So yes,
Oh
so
my. Oh, that's very cool.
yeah, and anything if you see a signature with a marker, it is me because I personally sign all of my books.
That's because you care about people. I mean, that's
Do,
what it all
I
comes
do.
down
Yeah.
to it.
Hmm.
Do you think do you believe obviously in old souls and young
Oh,
souls and all that? So
hmm.
do you know why you think you chose this kind of life to live this lifetime?
Oh, it's so interesting that you asked me that. So I learned in a past life, I did a past life regression. I don't
Uh-huh.
know if your listeners are familiar with a past life
Oh,
regression.
I've talked about it all the time.
Oh, okay.
So
So the past life regression, I had gone into a past life and I saw many, many lifetimes, and a lot of things that I struggled with anxiety or fears, I know that I suffered in a previous life.
mm,
And I was told at that time from my spirit guide that this was going to be my last journey in a physical form. So
wow.
I do believe that this is why I was chosen at this time, my soul, to do this kind of to do this kind of work.
You're getting enlightened to the fullest, to the fullest.
I always say to people are like, what is it like? I go, listen, I'll find out when I get there.
Right.
I'm like, I don't want to die.
Right.
The reality is we all are going to pass at some point. I'm just
Right.
not afraid to die anymore.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny. I think that once I started really understanding spirit and
Yeah.
believing in it, and again, I believe in all religions. Actually,
Yeah.
I think anything that
Me
you can
too.
attach to is
I don't know if
great.
you could see behind me, but I have Saint Teresa, a Buddha. I got
Yeah.
rosary beads around the Buddha. My mother looks at me like, what's going on here? I'm like, my daughter, when she was 5, she wanted to be Jewish. So we were Jewish one year. We celebrated Hanukkah. We had a menorah. We played the dreidel game every night. Like, why not?
I call myself a Judah because my mother's
Ooh, I love
Jewish.
that.
Yeah, and my dad's from England. I've got Christmas tree, Hanukkah,
Oh,
everything.
yes.
So,
I
and I got
love
my
that.
Buddha in front. So yeah,
Yeah.
the little
I
namaste.
but I feel like that, but you know what? That's really important because I think that a lot of people struggle with an organized religion. And it's also part of my gift. Like I took what was serving me a purpose and what was good for me and placed it on how it could help me. And I've done that with other, religions as well. And it really has helped me. But it's like anything, you take what works and then you just discard everything else, anything that doesn't serve you a purpose.
I think that's awesome. You're going to learn a lot when you go and see Theresa. You got to get the tickets, go there, and read all your books. I think because you're a phenomenal writer, and
Thank you.
also like you said, everybody has this ability. It's the 4-letter word that I hate, fear, that I think
Yeah.
stops us. I would think.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I always say to people, you have to pick one. You can't, faith and fear don't go together. So embrace the faith and release the fear. It's so easy for me to say
So
that
hard to
or for
do,
us to talk about that. But you don't think I have to do that on a daily basis? Of course I do.
Yeah.
We're all the same. We all struggle at times. And what I also learned, the biggest thing is it's okay not to be okay. Like there are days where I'm like, you know what, I'm not feeling that great. But I'll look at myself in the mirror and go, you got one day, you got 24 hours, you have your little pity party, do whatever it is that you got to do. But tomorrow's a new day. And that's it. We are not carrying this negativity over for the next day.
Right. And you can't have the light without the dark anyways. We wouldn't,
you
you
can't-
got to have a little
exactly.
both. So
You got
I
to.
mean, yeah, I think that's great advice. And again, so excited. And
Well, I hope you're going to come to the show.
of course I'm coming to the show. Are you
I
kidding
want to
me?
meet you in person. Yes.
Oh,
I
that would be
love
awesome.
Yes, it would be
I'll
great.
have a stack of books. Like, can you sign? No, I wouldn't do that to you.
I wouldn't mind. I appreciate. I don't even like to use the word fan because I don't even. It shocks me. Like when you said to me, like, "Oh my God, I love you." I'm like, "Oh my God!" Like I still like people know who I am. And
oh yeah, we do.
Yeah, but I still live right next door to where I grew up. My parents still live right next door to me. People are still like, no, there's no way. You don't live. They're like, oh, she lives in a gated community in this mansion. I'm like, yeah, no.
You know what?
Far from a mansion. I still live next door to my parents.
But that's what makes you why people love you is because you're just like us. I mean, except with better hair. And
on
cuter.
On some days I have better hair.
No, I mean you are just somebody that anybody can relate to you, and she's oh wow, if she can do this. She's not just the real thing. She is inspiring. It's inspirational.
Thank
And
you.
so thank you for sharing your gifts. And I can't wait to see you.
Thank you. And I appreciate everyone that follows me, that supports what I do, because without each and every one of you and them, I would not be able to continue the work that I do. And it's so important. And I think a lot of people have realized that even spirituality has been even opened up even more so this past year. And so it's only going to get stronger. And I always say, people just go with the flow, because people go, how do you really know there's an afterlife? I go, well, listen, if there's nothing, you're not going to know about it anyway. So
exactly.
why are you fighting it?
Right. To me, there has to be, because there's got to be a point. Now, we may never find out what that point is.
Right.
You know, everything could just be in a big old circle. But yeah, I totally
don't
agree.
know.
No, and the fact is, everybody, when they follow you, it's kind of following the positivity, which is going to help bring the whole, again, the circle, bring us all back, fill in the holes to make us whole. So one person at a time.
That's right. And I just want your listeners to know, I first want to thank you for sharing me with your listeners today. But it's really important. You know, people say it all the time after attending one of my live shows. They'll say, I had no idea what to expect when I went there. I personally did not get read, but what I witnessed was absolutely life-changing. And then some will even go on to say, and then I realized that there were others that needed to hear from their loved ones more than I. So beautiful. Powerful. Yeah, I just got the chills again.
I did too.
I'm like
oh my gosh.
Chill ball talking to you.
It's awesome. But it's true. You were going to learn so much. Again, even if you just talked, would be enough to me. But you see other people getting a reading. It will blow your mind. So
and you feel it too. It's like literally you can feel it. You're watching it and you feel it. So I'm really super excited to come back to St. Louis.
We're excited to have you. We cannot wait. Very soon. I think it's just a couple of weeks. I'll have it in front of me. I'm so bad with dates. And thank you.
July 16th and 17th.
Yep. 16th and 17th. Yeah. My mom's birthday is the 18th. I know, it's right around there.
Oh, how nice.
She's in La La Land in LA. So
it's actually the 17th and the 18th.
Oh, so on her birthday, which is very profound. Yeah.
See that? So, and it's great because they're nice little intimate groups, and there's 2 shows a day. So there's 4 shows to choose from. We do an afternoon show and an evening show. So it's really, really nice.
Well, I'll try and get all my friends from our show, to come when I come, so we can have like a posse.
Yes. Please reach out. If I can, grab you a pod, I'd love to have you as a guest.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Thanks.
You're awesome. We're your spiritual posse. I just
thank you.
That. Do you have?
I love that.
No, okay, you should.
I should. I call them my OGs.
Yeah, OGs.
all the original, the original.
I love that.
The original gurus. It's my team is very small, and the people that have been with me have been with me since day one. So I think that also is a huge testament on the work that I do and how proud everyone is. Even the guys that work on my crew for production, production, they're all freelancers. They all come back. They work on Long Island Medium. And it's just such a special bond that we all have.
And that will be going on again, right? You have a new season. Okay,
there's going to be a new special coming out. It'll be on TLC and Discovery. So I think it's going to air in the fall.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll definitely keep up on that. But we'll see you before that.
Yes, we'll see you in July 17th and 18th. In St. Louis at the Renaissance.
You're awesome. Thank you, Theresa.
Thanks so much. Have an awesome day. I appreciate you.
Thanks. You too.
Thanks. God bless.
God bless.